Ladies and gentlemen, today we explore an insightful and empowering topic: how to recognize the early signs when a woman is on the brink of receiving something transformational in her life. This is not just about luck or coincidence. It's about inner evolution aligning with outer opportunities. And while the process may appear spiritual or mystical to some, it can also be understood through the lens of awareness, emotional intelligence, and energetic readiness. A significant internal shift often precedes major life breakthroughs. And one of the most overlooked yet powerful signs that a woman is on the verge of receiving something big is a persistent sense of inner restlessness. This feeling can be subtle at first, often mistaken for impatience, boredom, or even dissatisfaction. However, this restlessness is not random. It is an indicator that something within her is preparing to evolve, even if her external circumstances remain unchanged. It represents the early stirring of transformation, much like how the earth quietly trembles before a volcano erupts, or how the sky darkens before a storm breaks. This inner restlessness isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it arrives like a quiet tug, a gentle whisper that says, "This isn't it, there's more." A woman may find herself questioning aspects of her life that previously felt secure: her job, her routine, her social circle, or even her long-held goals. What once satisfied her no longer brings the same joy or purpose. While others around her might not notice anything unusual, she feels the dissonance building inside. This emotional and mental discomfort is not a flaw, it is a catalyst. It pushes her to reflect, reassess, and prepare for a leap forward. Often, this phase is misunderstood. Society tends to associate restlessness with instability or lack of gratitude. However, in the context of personal growth, restlessness is a messenger. It signals that her internal world is outgrowing her current external conditions. She may not be able to explain it to others, and there might not be a clear plan of action yet, but something is shifting. It's the sensation of being emotionally packed for a journey she hasn't consciously planned, sensing that life's about to take her in a new direction. The mind might resist this change. Questions arise. Why can't I just be content? Or, is there something wrong with me? But this restlessness is not a problem to be solved. It's a sign to be interpreted. It usually occurs when the subconscious is more aware than the conscious mind. A part of her knows she's made for something more, and that knowledge is trying to rise to the surface. This feeling may also show up in the form of vivid dreams, daydreams, or spontaneous ideas that seem disconnected from her current lifestyle. She may feel drawn to books, topics, or conversations that spark a new kind of energy in her. Time may start to feel slower in her current circumstances, not because she's lazy or ungrateful, but because her spirit is growing beyond the limitations of her present routine. Restlessness doesn't always mean she needs to act immediately, but it does mean she needs to listen. Suppressing it or forcing herself to stay the same can lead to emotional fatigue, irritability, or a lingering sense of dissatisfaction. But when embraced, restlessness becomes a guiding force. It compels her to explore what lights her up, what challenges her, what calls her to evolve. It asks her to get curious, to look inward, and to allow her interests and passions to surface. There is also a physical component to this sensation. Many women describe feeling as though their energy has changed. They may have difficulty sleeping, experience fluctuations in appetite, or feel more sensitive to their environment. These are not symptoms of something wrong. They are reflections of the internal preparation for something greater. Her body and mind are aligning for a shift, even if she doesn't yet know the destination. During this period, support and self-compassion are crucial. A woman experiencing this restlessness benefits greatly from solitude, reflection, and gentle curiosity. Journaling, mindful walks, and quiet moments away from distractions can help her hear what the restlessness is trying to say. It is not a phase to fear, but a phase to honor. It is the earliest sign that the next chapter is on its way and that she is getting ready to meet it with open hands. In summary, inner restlessness is a powerful, often misunderstood emotional state that signals expansion. It is not a weakness or a sign of confusion. It is evidence that a woman is waking up to a deeper version of herself. It is the heart's way of tapping on the door of possibility. And when she learns to trust that feeling, rather than avoid it, she positions herself to receive something that will elevate not only her life, but the lives of those she will eventually impact. Another key sign that a woman is approaching a major turning point in her life, one that brings profound transformation or blessing, is the noticeable shift in her relationships. These changes are often unplanned and can sometimes feel abrupt, confusing, or emotionally charged. Relationships that once felt comforting may start to feel distant. Conversations that once flowed may begin to feel strained or superficial. People who were previously central to her life may slowly fade out of focus. This process is rarely deliberate. Instead, it is a reflection of deeper internal changes. As she grows and prepares for a new chapter, her emotional and energetic frequency begins to shift, and her connections adjust accordingly. This phenomenon is deeply tied to the concept of alignment. As a woman moves closer to her true path, she begins to unconsciously seek out people, spaces, and environments that support that evolution. At the same time, she may start to feel emotionally disconnected from relationships that no longer resonate with who she is becoming. This doesn't necessarily mean that these people were toxic or harmful. Often they were aligned with who she was, but not with who she is becoming. The shift is not always about blame or fault. It is about growth, and not everyone is meant to grow in the same direction or at the same pace. These relationship changes can take many forms. Some may end dramatically, while others may simply drift apart with no conflict at all. In either case, the emotional impact can be significant. Letting go of people she's known for years, even people she deeply loves, can be incredibly difficult. Yet, this separation is often necessary to create space for the new. Growth always requires room. And when a woman is on the edge of receiving something life-changing, she needs that emotional and mental space free from outdated dynamics and draining connections. One important aspect of this shift is that new people often begin to appear just as old ones fade. These new connections may feel instantly aligned, even if they are unexpected. The conversations feel deeper. The energy exchange is more balanced, and there's a sense of being seen and understood in a way that didn't exist before. These new relationships tend to be purpose-driven, carrying a sense of mutual growth and support. They may arrive as mentors, collaborators, friends, or even strangers who deliver key insights or encouragement at just the right moment. This realignment of relationships also pushes her to reassess her own role in the dynamic she maintains. She may begin to see patterns she hadn't noticed before. Patterns of overgiving, people-pleasing, emotional suppression, or dependency. These insights can be uncomfortable, but they're deeply valuable. They offer her the opportunity to redefine how she relates to others, not from a place of fear or habit, but from a place of clarity, worthiness, and intentionality. This phase of transition may also come with a temporary feeling of loneliness. Even when the changes are healthy, it can feel like standing in an empty hallway between two doors, one closing behind her and the other not yet open. This is a natural and often necessary part of transformation. The quietness in her social world gives her time to recalibrate, to listen more closely to her intuition, and to understand herself on a deeper level. In many ways, this solitude becomes sacred. It prepares her for the meaningful connections and opportunities that are ahead. It's also worth noting that some relationships do remain, but change form. A friend or partner may stay in her life, but the dynamic evolves as she evolves. New boundaries are set, communication improves, or the level of emotional intimacy deepens. These cases demonstrate that transformation doesn't always require departure. Sometimes it requires mutual growth. However, this kind of evolution only happens when both people are willing to do the inner work. If only one person is growing, imbalance can arise, leading to natural distance over time. Ultimately, the shifting of relationships is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something important is happening within. When a woman is preparing to receive something big, whether it's a new role, purpose, opportunity, or realization, her environment must reflect that readiness. Relationships are a central part of that environment. The right people amplify her energy, challenge her constructively, and offer support without agenda. The wrong ones drain her, distract her, or keep her tied to an outdated version of herself. Understanding and accepting these changes can be challenging, especially when emotional attachments are strong. But with time, most women look back on these shifts with gratitude. They realize that making space for new energy was essential for their growth. The losses were not punishments, they were clearings. And through those clearings, life made room for something more aligned, more powerful, and more fulfilling. One of the most profound signs that a woman is about to receive something significant in her life is the awakening and sharpening of her intuition. Intuition is often described as a quiet inner voice or a gut feeling, a knowing that doesn't always rely on logical reasoning or external evidence. This heightened sense of inner guidance becomes more noticeable and more reliable just before a major turning point or blessing manifests. It serves as an internal compass, directing her decisions, relationships, and actions with increasing clarity and confidence. Intuition has been recognized across cultures and history as a vital source of wisdom, yet it is frequently overlooked or dismissed in favor of rational thought. In times of significant transition, however, the rational mind may struggle to comprehend what's happening, especially when change feels unpredictable or unprecedented. During these moments, intuition steps forward, providing subtle but unmistakable signals about the best path forward. A woman experiencing this sign will find herself relying less on overthinking or seeking approval and more on trusting what feels inherently true to her. This sharpening of intuition is often experienced as a series of small nudges or insights that arise spontaneously. They might come as flashes of clarity, a sudden sense of peace in a decision, or a strong feeling that something is right or wrong without concrete proof. These intuitive hits may appear in everyday moments, a thought about reaching out to someone, a choice about accepting an opportunity, or even the decision to pause and wait. The difference is that these feelings carry an unusual weight and persistence. They are hard to ignore because they feel deeply connected to her inner self. Heightened intuition also enables a woman to read situations and people with greater sensitivity. She may start picking up on subtle cues, tone of voice, body language, or energy that previously went unnoticed. This increased awareness allows her to make better judgments about who to trust, which opportunities to pursue, and when to step back. Her ability to sense underlying dynamics in social and professional environments becomes a valuable asset, guiding her through complex circumstances with more ease and less trial and error. An important part of this intuitive awakening is learning how to differentiate genuine intuition from fear or wishful thinking. This takes practice and self-awareness. True intuition tends to feel calm, clear, and steady, whereas fear-based thoughts are often anxious, repetitive, and clouded by doubt. Intuition does not demand immediate action, but invites reflection. It encourages a pause, a moment to tune into the deeper wisdom beneath surface emotions. As a woman grows more attuned to this inner voice, she can more easily distinguish between helpful guidance and distractions from self-doubt or societal pressure. Physiologically, heightened intuition can be accompanied by subtle bodily sensations. Some women describe a fluttering in the stomach, a sense of warmth or lightness, or a quiet tingling in the heart area. These physical sensations act as signals that the mind and body are aligned in recognizing something important. When she learns to trust these sensations instead of dismissing them as random or irrational, she cultivates a more intimate relationship with her own inner knowing. This intuitive development often coincides with increased self-confidence. As she follows her instincts and sees positive outcomes, trust in her intuition strengthens. This builds a feedback loop. The more she listens, the more reliable her inner guidance becomes, which leads to more empowered decisions. Over time, this creates a foundation of self-trust that is essential when facing uncertainty or major life changes. Another dimension of heightened intuition involves a deepening connection to a broader sense of purpose. When on the cusp of receiving something big, many women experience a subtle but unmistakable pull toward meaningful work, relationships, or contributions that resonate with their core values. Intuition guides her toward opportunities that align with this higher purpose, helping her to avoid distractions or false starts. It becomes a spiritual compass that orients her toward fulfillment beyond material gain. It is also important to recognize that intuition is not always easy to hear or follow, especially in a world that prizes logic and external validation. Listening to intuition requires quieting the mind and cultivating mindfulness. Practices like meditation, journaling, spending time in nature, or simply creating moments of stillness help to strengthen this connection. By regularly tuning into herself, a woman enhances her ability to notice intuitive signals and respond to them with clarity. Ultimately, heightened intuition is a sign of alignment, a sign that a woman is becoming more integrated with her true self. It signals readiness for change, growth, and the reception of new blessings. When she honors and acts on this inner wisdom, she navigates her path with greater authenticity and grace, opening the door to opportunities that may otherwise have gone unnoticed. In summary, the sharpening of intuition is a profound and empowering sign that something significant is on the horizon. It is an invitation to trust oneself more deeply, to listen beyond the noise of the mind, and to allow the inner voice to lead the way. This intuitive clarity helps a woman prepare for the next phase of her life, guiding her toward experiences that enrich, elevate, and transform. One of the most challenging yet insightful signs that a woman is about to experience a major breakthrough or blessing in her life is the intensification of obstacles and challenges. This phase can feel overwhelming, frustrating, and even disheartening at times. However, it serves an important and necessary purpose in the overall process of growth and transformation. Understanding why difficulties often escalate before a significant positive shift can help a woman navigate this phase with resilience and hope rather than discouragement. It is a common pattern in both nature and human experience that just before a breakthrough, pressure builds. Consider how diamonds are formed under immense heat and pressure deep within the earth. Similarly, many successful individuals describe moments of intense struggle right before their greatest achievements. This phenomenon is not accidental, it is a natural part of transformation. The difficulties act as a kind of refining fire, clearing away what no longer serves and strengthening the foundation for what is to come. When a woman is approaching a major blessing or breakthrough, life often seems to present obstacles that test her commitment, patience, and faith in herself. These challenges might manifest in various areas. Personal relationships may become strained, professional projects may face unexpected setbacks, or internal doubts may grow louder. It can feel as though everything is working against her, and she might question whether the effort is worth it. However, these intensified challenges are often a sign that she is on the edge of a significant change. This escalation of obstacles serves multiple purposes. Firstly, it tests resilience. When the easy path disappears and difficulties increase, it becomes clear how much she truly desires the change she's working toward. This period forces her to dig deep, accessing inner strength and determination that may have lain dormant. The experience helps build character, patience, and a stronger sense of self-reliance, all of which are crucial for sustaining success once the breakthrough arrives. Secondly, the rising challenges provide clarity. When life becomes complicated and demanding, a woman is pushed to prioritize and focus on what really matters. Distractions fall away, and she gains insight into which relationships, habits, and goals are aligned with her true purpose. The obstacles act like a spotlight, revealing the essential from the non-essential. This clarity ensures that when she steps into the new phase, she does so with intention and alignment rather than confusion or overload. Thirdly, these difficulties act as a form of preparation. Much like an athlete undergoes rigorous training before a competition, or a student studies intensively before an exam, this period equips her with the skills, knowledge, and emotional endurance needed for the next stage. The setbacks teach problem solving, adaptability, and resilience. They may also provide valuable lessons that only hardship can teach, lessons about humility, empathy, and gratitude. It is important to recognize that the intensification of obstacles is not a punishment or a sign that she is failing. On the contrary, it is a natural and predictable part of growth. Like a seed pushing through soil to reach sunlight, the process requires effort and sometimes discomfort. The resistance she faces is often proportional to the magnitude of the change that awaits. The bigger the breakthrough, the more resistance it must overcome. During this phase, support and self-compassion are vital. She benefits from acknowledging her struggles without judgment, allowing herself space to feel frustration or exhaustion without guilt. This acceptance helps reduce internal resistance, which can otherwise exacerbate stress. At the same time, seeking encouragement from trusted friends, mentors, or communities can provide reassurance and perspective. Knowing that obstacles are temporary and part of the journey can make them feel less isolating. Many women who have experienced major breakthroughs reflect back on this difficult period with gratitude, recognizing it as a crucial turning point. They often describe how these challenges force them to reevaluate their goals, clarify their intentions, and develop the inner strength necessary to sustain their success. The obstacles were not barriers, but stepping stones, shaping them into a more grounded, capable version of themselves. It's also helpful to shift perspective on obstacles from being purely negative to being valuable signals. Each challenge is an opportunity to learn something important, whether it's about personal limits, communication, time management, or values. This mindset encourages proactive engagement with difficulties rather than avoidance or despair. Furthermore, this phase encourages a woman to cultivate patience. Breakthroughs rarely happen overnight. The period of intensified obstacles is a reminder that growth is a process often nonlinear and unpredictable. By embracing patience, she nurtures her capacity to stay present and persistent even when progress seems slow or invisible. In essence, the intensification of obstacles before a breakthrough is a natural, necessary, and ultimately beneficial part of transformation. It tests resolve, provides clarity, prepares for success, and cultivates essential inner qualities. Recognizing this pattern can help a woman navigate challenges with greater grace and confidence, knowing that the difficulties are temporary and meaningful. When she endures this phase with openness and resilience, She not only moves closer to her goal, but also grows into the person capable of receiving and sustaining the blessing that awaits her. This understanding transforms obstacles from frustrating setbacks into powerful allies on the path to lasting change. One of the most empowering signs that a woman is about to receive a significant blessing or breakthrough is a sudden and profound increase in clarity of purpose. This clarity often arrives unexpectedly, cutting through confusion, doubt, and uncertainty to reveal a focused direction that resonates deeply within her. It is a turning point where she begins to see her life through a sharper lens, understanding not only what she wants, but why she wants it, and how her unique gifts and experiences fit into a larger picture. In many people's lives, purpose can feel elusive or vague, a distant ideal rather than a tangible reality. Before this phase of clarity, a woman may have wandered through different paths, trying various roles or juggling conflicting desires without a clear sense of which road truly belongs to her. This can lead to frustration, feeling lost, or drifting without a strong anchor. However, when clarity of purpose emerges, it brings with it a powerful sense of direction and motivation that can transform her approach to life. This newfound clarity is rarely just a passing idea. It often feels like an internal awakening. Suddenly, there is less room for confusion or second guessing because she knows what matters most. This can manifest as a specific goal, a cause to champion, a career path to pursue, or a lifestyle to embrace. It may be connected to values she's always held but hadn't fully acknowledged, or it could be a new vision born out of the experiences and lessons she has accumulated over time. What matters is that the purpose feels authentic and aligned with her true self. One key feature of increased clarity of purpose is its impact on decision-making. Before this clarity, choices may have felt overwhelming or paralyzing, as if every option had equal weight and potential. But with clarity, decision-making becomes more straightforward because she can evaluate opportunities based on whether they align with her purpose. This reduces wasted time, energy, and resources on distractions or commitments that don't serve her growth or fulfillment. It also empowers her to say no to what doesn't fit, freeing up space for what truly matters. Another important aspect of this clarity is that it provides motivation and resilience during difficult times. When challenges arise, a clear purpose acts like a lighthouse in the storm, reminding her why she started and why it's worth continuing. This deeper why fuels perseverance and keeps her focused even when progress feels slow or obstacles appear. It transforms setbacks from reasons to quit into learning experiences that are part of the journey toward her goal. In addition, clarity of purpose often leads to a stronger sense of confidence. When a woman knows what she stands for and what she is working toward, she radiates a sense of self-assurance that others notice. This confidence can open doors, create new connections, and attract opportunities that align with her vision. People are naturally drawn to someone who knows their direction and passion because it inspires trust and respect. This clarity can also impact a woman's sense of identity. Instead of feeling pulled in many directions by external expectations or societal pressures, she begins to define herself by her authentic values and mission. This shift encourages greater self-acceptance and reduces the influence of others' opinions on her choices. As a result, she experiences a deeper sense of freedom and empowerment, living life on her own terms rather than trying to fit into molds that don't suit her. The process of gaining clarity often involves introspection and reflection. It may come through moments of solitude, journaling, or conversations with trusted mentors and friends. Sometimes, clarity arrives after a period of trial and error when the pieces start to fall into place and reveal a pattern or theme. It can also emerge through paying attention to recurring feelings, desires, or synchronicities that point toward a specific direction. Importantly, this clarity does not always mean the path ahead is easy or without obstacles. Instead, it means she has a strong compass to navigate challenges. The path may require learning new skills, building new relationships, or stepping outside of comfort zones. But with a clear purpose, these efforts feel meaningful rather than burdensome, fueling her growth and transformation. It is also common for clarity of purpose to inspire a desire to contribute beyond personal gain. Many women find that their renewed sense of direction includes a commitment to making a positive impact on others or the world around them. This outward focus can amplify the sense of fulfillment and provide additional motivation to persevere through difficulties. In summary, increased clarity of purpose is a transformative sign that a woman is ready to embrace a significant new chapter in her life. It provides direction, focus, motivation, and confidence that fuel progress and resilience. This clarity helps her make intentional decisions, align her actions with her true self, and navigate obstacles with determination. It marks a shift from uncertainty to empowered action, setting the stage for the blessings and breakthroughs that lie ahead, a powerful sign that a woman is on the brink of receiving something significant in her life is the noticeable increase in opportunities that come her way. This multiplication of chances is rarely random. Instead, it is a reflection of her evolving mindset, increased readiness, and alignment with her goals and values. As she grows and transforms internally, the external world begins to respond accordingly, presenting new avenues for growth, success, and fulfillment that may have seemed out of reach before. At the core of this phenomenon is the principle that energy attracts similar energy. When a woman aligns with her purpose, develops confidence, and acts with intention, she naturally emits a different kind of energy. This energy is magnetic, drawing people, situations, and possibilities that resonate with her new vibration. The result is a noticeable shift in the quality and quantity of opportunities she encounters. What may have once been rare or difficult to access now appears more frequently, often in unexpected and exciting ways. This increase in opportunities can manifest across various areas of life, including career, relationships, education, creative projects, or personal growth. For example, she might be invited to collaborate on a meaningful project, receive an unexpected job offer, meet someone who opens doors to new experiences, or discover a workshop or course that perfectly suits her development needs. These opportunities often carry the potential to significantly impact her trajectory, acting as catalysts for her next phase of growth. It is important to recognize that these opportunities do not always come packaged in obvious or glamorous ways. Sometimes they appear as challenges disguised in opportunities, clothing situations that require effort, learning, or stepping outside of comfort zones. The key difference is that she is now more prepared to recognize and seize these moments rather than overlook or avoid them. Her increased clarity of purpose and self-trust enable her to evaluate what serves her growth and what doesn't, leading to more intentional choices. Another factor contributing to the multiplication of opportunities is the expanded network that often accompanies personal growth. As she evolves, she tends to connect with new communities, mentors, and peers who support and inspire her vision. These relationships can become valuable sources of information, guidance, and introductions that lead to further possibilities. The power of networking is not just in quantity, but in the quality of connections. Being surrounded by people who share similar values or aspirations creates a fertile ground for opportunities to flourish. This stage of life often includes a greater willingness to take risks. When a woman senses that something important is within reach, she becomes more open to stepping into the unknown. This courage to act despite uncertainty often leads to doors opening that might have remained closed if she had stayed in familiar patterns. The readiness to embrace change and challenge attracts opportunities that reward boldness and initiative. It is also common during this phase for synchronicities and coincidences to increase. These meaningful alignments can feel like the universe conspiring to support her journey. For instance, hearing about a job opening just as she considers a career shift, or meeting someone who offers the exact advice or resource she needs at the right time. While these moments might seem random, they often result from her heightened awareness and openness, which make her more receptive to recognizing and acting on these signs. However, the multiplication of opportunities can also bring challenges. With more options available, the decision-making process can become overwhelming. It requires discernment to choose which opportunities align best with her purpose and values. Learning to say no becomes as important as saying yes, ensuring that she does not overextend herself or dilute her focus. This skill of selective commitment is crucial for maintaining momentum and avoiding burnout. Moreover, the influx of opportunities can sometimes create pressure or anxiety. The fear of making the wrong choice or missing out can be distracting. Developing trust in herself and the process is essential during this time. Confidence in her intuition and clarity of purpose helps her navigate these waters, allowing her to move forward with both excitement and groundedness. In essence, the multiplication of opportunities is a tangible indicator of progress and readiness. It signals that the internal work she has done, developing clarity, resilience, confidence, and alignment, is now manifesting in her external reality. The doors are opening because she is prepared to walk through them. This phase is an invitation to engage actively with life's possibilities while maintaining a clear vision and steady focus. It encourages a balance between openness to new experiences and thoughtful evaluation, fostering growth that is both expansive and sustainable. When a woman embraces this influx of opportunities with wisdom and enthusiasm, she accelerates her journey toward the significant blessing that awaits. The multiplication of chances is not just about quantity, it is about quality, timing, and alignment. It reflects her readiness to receive and her commitment to stepping into her fullest potential. In conclusion, when opportunities begin to multiply, it is a clear sign that transformation is underway. It is a reminder that growth and blessing are not passive occurrences, but the result of continuous internal evolution and active participation in life. Recognizing and embracing this sign can empower a woman to move confidently toward the life she is meant to lead, supported by the abundance of possibilities that surround her.